Okay, here we go. We're recording.
Elle, tell me a little bit about yourself and why you decided to do a residency.
um,
In a short version.
the short version. Okay. So the the thing that really happened this year was the pandemic. Of course, that happened to everyone, and for me, it meant that I was not going to go to Brazil. I do that in March. I've done it for 2 years, and that's where I do my creative work and also get to see my son and grandson. So this year, when that was denied, um, it made me kind of turn inward to a project that I've been putting on the back burner, which is writing my book about New Life scripts. And my chairman of my department said that I could use the funds to hire research assistants. So I hired two students, and they spent all semester researching for me. And then I needed to have a little time to, for compilation and direction, and that's why I came. It's only 6 days, but
Yeah,
it was rather focused.
good. So that's what I was going to say. Do you think that the 6 days was enough for this particular thing? Because I know that your timing was only allowed for that.
It only allowed it. And since that was so, I just, created a focus for it. And my whole goal was to be able to go back home and figure out how the summer of writing would go.
Nice. Okay.
And I think I have a map
That's
for
great.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were just talking before we started recording about meeting other people. And was this your first residency?
Yeah, it was the first residency. I was talking to Alex about it, who's gone to 9 of them. And I think that a similar experience happened to me whenever I was a senior in high school. I was chosen to go to an artist's residency with other teenagers. It was called the Pennsylvania Governor's School for the Arts.
Oh, I feel like I've heard of that.
Yeah,
They still do that, right?
they do, and a lot of rock stars come out of that. But um, that that idea of being around a lot of different artists and a lot of projects going on simultaneously, that was what I experienced, and that's what I felt here. You know,
Yeah.
even the small numbers, it doesn't matter. There was still this bubbling and percolating synergy of creativity, among my housemates and me.
Yeah, that's great. And and you were talking about kind of like the logistics of, being in your life and having kind of the life that you lead, right? Your husband, your children, your students, whatever it might be, and then you like dislocate yourself and you're into this new environment and you felt the need to like talk and be social, whereas sometimes some people want their own space, but you kind of found that the people that were already here kind of lent itself. It ended up working out okay.
It did. But I think that those two people are exceptional.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're just so awesome of people that know how to be around someone but not intrude, and
And how is it sharing space and things like that?
yeah, that was interesting too, because the way the house is set up is perfect. One side of the house with the bathroom for that, another side of the house for bathroom for me. That gave a lot of privacy, all that was needed.
Yeah.
And then the shared space, it looked like it to me. The living room got divvied up among the dog, who got a chair, our reader, who got the chair by the window so she could
Nice.
read her books,
Nice.
the couch for Alex, who's a big guy and has carving. And then I took the desk into the corner, and we all had our spaces that seemed perfect for us.
I love that. I love
I
how
know.
people. I'm really enjoying watching how people use that space and how I like dreamt about it and set it up, and then I like get to see people like live in it and use the space, and that's what happened. That's like this really interesting human experience.
Yeah.
How people just kind of figure out what's most comfortable, and everyone kind of like navigates around each other.
Yeah.
And it's just really like this like organic like bubbles of our personal space with each other, and you're sharing a space, but you're like in your own little
Yep.
corner. And I've had people in there with easels.
Oh. Oh,
like literally that living room with easels,
yeah.
2 or 3 people, and
Wow.
like work all over the place. So people use it in different ways, and yeah, so that's nice to kind of get your feedback as someone who's not been on something like this.
Yeah, because we are different kinds of artists.
Right.
That makes the space use different.
Yeah.
Also, Alex and I both like to cook,
Uh huh.
and so we had a nice organic way of sharing that space
That's
too.
great.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that it wasn't. We just had different time schedules.
Yeah.
That helps.
That's good too. Yeah, figuring out that rhythm as well. So, what was your time schedule? What kind of mode did you start to get into? And was it different than back home, or is it something similar to what you?
It's similar. I've begun. One of the aspects of my work is health and wellness, or I call it well-being, and I'm following a lot of protocols for healthy lifestyle. And one of them is the research that I've found about waking at sunrise and making sure your retina is getting the first rays of the sun so that your circadian rhythm gets you into the perfect night's sleep for yourself. So I had been doing that at home, and I did it here. And I gotta say, I was happy about this, Val. All systems were working great. You know how some
Yeah.
people can't go to the bathroom when they
Yeah.
travel? No, I had everything was going great.
Nice.
My sleep cycle, and so that kept me feeling pretty good, for my work during the day. So I went to bed at 9 o'clock,
Nice.
and I would maybe read for a little bit, and then I would wake up at sunrise generally. But a couple
Yeah.
days I did sleep in.
Well, it's been gray.
Yeah, that's why.
So the sun is
Yeah, the sun
the
was
rain and the cold.
not
and the
really
bit
easy to
warm.
find.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And then you were kind of more productive in the mornings as far as writing and.
Well, no, I spend, like I do at home, I spend the mornings, I do sort of a devotional reading first thing in the morning with my coffee. But then I do my yoga, an hour of yoga, and I do 30 minutes of Wim Hof breathing protocol.
Okay.
So that really almost takes up the morning, because then I postpone eating until after all of that.
Okay.
And then I need to eat my lunch. So that's around 11:30, 12. And,
Yeah.
and then, so really I feel ready for the work,
Nice.
because my body everything's nourished.
Yep.
And then I get to work. And Alex gave me the wonderful little suggestion. Why don't
don't
I
look.
know, I saw. It looks like buttercup. Darn. Yeah.
Yep. What was Alex's suggestion?
Alex said, "Why don't you take a desk and a chair down to the, river, down into the field?" It was just a tiny little suggestion, but I just grabbed it and went with it, and I'm so happy I did. So I ended up having 3 writing sessions in the outdoor desk.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the afternoon.
I had the person before you that was more writing. I suggested I would take the picnic table over there for her, and overnight she decided that she didn't need the table, and she was just would take my advice and go. But yeah, so I think that's really beneficial, to like move, not be sitting inside all the time.
Oh, it was
right?
wonderful.
And because your focus is nature.
Yes.
Like
yes.
get out, like live, eat, breathe the mantra, right? Get out and into nature. So how was that? Did you look at other residencies and just find mine because of nature, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, I can't remember how I found it. It was on my email. Did you have an email list?
Only for people that have found me.
Oh my goodness, I don't know how I found you.
Well, I'll investigate that.
Oh, good. I'd love to know. I'd love to know. But I'll tell you, once I did, everything seemed, I didn't feel like I needed to look anywhere else because of the other aspects, which we've discussed. The fact that you're doing this Herculean task of opening a retreat center by yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a Herculean task for me and my husband. We're doing the same thing. I wanted to see how you were doing that. I also, because you were a professor, I felt we had something in common, that you had been disenchanted with your environment there, and
Yeah.
I am too. I'm always trying to get out of the classroom and into nature in my teaching. So
Yeah.
I didn't look anywhere else, but I am going to look now because of Alex
Yeah.
at other ideas for it. But I'd also like to make a return visit someday.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah,
that's always open for
good.
everyone, and that's really important. You know, touching the land and having it go through you, and then you come back.
Yeah,
And, that cycle, that rhythm, like you were talking about, is in a different way. Yeah.
yeah.
So
There's something. The charm
yeah.
of it is hard to beat. The donkeys is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just.
Well, what do you think you're gonna miss the most? Because it's a different terrain than your environment.
Yeah, it is a different terrain than Pennsylvania. Yeah, I think it's that the charm of going close at hand to the various locations. I don't have to go very far to make a change of scene that is inspiring to me.
Great. That's good feedback.
Like the side porch
Uh-huh.
and that indoor space you have, and
Yeah. Nice.
the back deck, the yards, and then of course I love that you can get a little wild by just crossing the street.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, if you did come back, what season do you think you'd want to see another time?
Oh yeah, I would like to do another season.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't
I'm
know.
curious about.
Yeah.
I mean, last night we were talking about winter.
Oh yeah. I'm good with winter. I love.
I think winter. I mean, winter isn't like up north here. February we had snow, so that was fun. Yeah. So just kind of like in conclusion, what do you how do you feel now that I'm taking you back to the airport? I mean, we met kind of midstream to kind of consult and talk about your work and your book project. And we had our forest therapy walk. We had crazy dramatic rain and
Crazy dramatic.
the
Lights out.
lightning. The lights went out because the wind.
The
all
rainbow
sorts of
came
stuff.
up.
Yeah, all
That
sorts
was nuts.
like a really dramatic week that
Yeah.
you can't predict, right? So,
Yeah.
so how are you feeling as we drive to the airport?
Yeah, not to mention that I had two big events, Mother's Day and
Right.
my
And
birthday,
your birthday.
that
right?
were both by myself.
Right.
And those are usually very communal.
Mhm.
So I had a real crying jag last night.
Oh.
I was drinking some wine.
Well, Alex made a lovely blondie for you.
Yes,
which
yes.
is nice.
Alex made that
And-
wonderful coconut blondie because I love coconut. I felt
Nice.
very loved and everything.
Yeah.
So there
that's
was
great.
it was wonderful, but I missed something too.
Yeah.
And there's no denying that that's what happens when you go to a residency. You're leaving something behind.
Yeah. Or you're just getting out of your routine in general.
Yeah, which I'm a proponent of. I believe
Yeah.
in retreats.
Yeah.
It's just the way that you can get perspective on your
Right.
life, and I don't know if there's any other better way. And plus, I love being able to go to a Tennessee,
Yeah.
a whole new state.
Right.
So
Fantastic.
I think I think I have some perspective on my work
Mhm.
that I'm ready to put into play
Great.
whenever I return. I'm gonna
Awesome.
stay dedicated to it. I feel like I'm hoping that it's a 6-month project.
The book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I just appreciate the opportunity, and it was nice meeting you, and I just hope the best for you, and we'll stay in touch.
Let's do.
Okay, thanks.